Hello, people of the future. This is the semifinal playoffs for Pokemon Draft League. This week, we're going up against the Swolecunes, who we went up against in week 2. Their team consists of Tyranitar, Excadrill, Tapu Bulu, Thundurus T, Suicune, Weezinggalar, Celesteela, Aerodactyl, Espeon, and Decidueye. When we played him back in week 2, he didn't have Tapu Bulu and Thundurus, so gonna have to have a little bit of a different game plan this week as opposed to that week. So far, I decided to start off bringing Kyurem. Being able to have Stab, Freeze, Dry takes out a lot of his team. Excadrill, Tapu Bulu, Thundurus, even hit Suicune, Celesteela, Aerodactyl, Decidueye. Nobody on his team really likes being hit by Ice Beam or Freeze Dry, and so giving it max special attack and then just enough speed so that whenever you add a Choice Scarf, it outspeeds Aerodactyl, which is the fastest guy on his team. So his only real check would be if he has another one of his guys with a Choice Scarf and with able to hit pretty powerful ice attacks, Earth Power just to cover anything that isn't flying, and then Roost, if there's rocks damage or something, maybe predict a switch, get a free Roost off to keep Kyurem healthy, since he will be the main wall breaker for the team. Next up, Heatran. I wanted to bring somebody, get some rocks up to really be able to hit the opponent. I got leftovers on it, so it's a little more specially defensive. Lava Plume just to fire off some good, stab attacks. Protect and Stealth Rock. Protect to get some leftover, Stealth Rock to get some damage. And finally, Nature Power. So this changes depending on the terrain. If he brings Tapu Bulu, it's going to turn into Energy Ball, which would be really helpful for attacking any Pokemon that might try to switch into Heatran. Looking at Suicune, maybe Tyranitar, Excadrill. So being able to fire off a Nature's Power, which basically becomes a grass attack, which Heatran doesn't get, is going to be a great way to actually have some momentum and chip down his team whenever predicting switches. Finally, just a lot of health, special defensive, and then just enough speed to outrun an adamant Tyranitar. So that way we should still be able to fire off some nature powers and chip it down. Next up, Urshifu. Always have to bring Urshifu. He is such a good wall breaker for breaking down the team. The standard one of Wicked Blow, Close Combat, Sucker Punch, and then Poison Jab, just because he does have a Tapu Bulu. Black Glasses to make the dark type attacks a little more powerful. And then Max Attack with this speed coming out to 303. I believe Thundurus is 301 if it's modest as opposed to timid. So it should be able to outspeed just about everything on his team except Aerodactyl and Espeon. With Espeon, we should be able to take it out with the Sucker Punch, and then Aerodactyl, we should be able to switch to somebody else because we don't want to be hit with the dual Wing Beat. Finally, this Poison Jab should be able to one-hit KO Tapu Bulu. So, and then also it's sufficiently faster than Tapu Bulu. So Tapu Bulu should not be much of a concern to us. Next up, I have Togekiss. This is just kind of the support mon for the team. Defog to get rid of any hazards on our side. Heal Bell in case they get some status on us that can heal up. Roost to keep Togekiss healthy. And then finally Flamethrower, just because he's a little weak on the fire side with Excadrill and Celesteela. So some of the mons that would switch into check Togekiss, maybe we can catch him with a Flamethrower and chip him down. Here, nice and healthy, some defense. And then same thing, I want to outspeed Tyranitar, so I went with 222. Finally, Tangrowth. He has a lot of physical attackers, Tyranitar, Excadrill, Tapu Bulu. He's run his Suicune sometimes as a physical attacker, so I wanted a nice beefy defensive guy with Rocky Helmet to get some chip off, Giga Drain to get some health back, Sludge Bomb, which would be able to take out Tapu Bulu, Knockoff just to get rid of any items, and then finally Toxic. He does have 2 steals that he uses somewhat regularly with Excadrill and Celesteela, but I'd rather have 90% Toxic than try and go for something like Sleep Powder with 75% and miss there, and I think getting that status up can be helpful for helping to wear down his team. And finally, the real glue of the team, Rotom Wash. Since Heatran already has the leftovers, I couldn't give Rotom Wash any leftovers, but I decided to throw an Ipapa Berry on it just to get some health recovery whenever it gets low. Volt Switch and Hydro Pump, standards just to get some stabs. Another Toxic just to whittle down his team, and then Pain Split to hopefully heal up Rotom Wash in between attacks, and then all specially defensive just to check any of his guys that will be firing some of those off. And that is the team. We're about to hop on, and I will get back to you when we start the battle. Okay, so looking at his team, he's got Excadrill, Thundurus T, Celesteela, Suicune, Tapu Bulu, and Weezinggalar. So it's looking like he didn't bring Tyranitar, instead went with Weezinggalar and Celesteela as sort of the backing core. Still great. Kyurem's still going to do a lot of work, can basically check 5 of his mons besides Galar. Heatran completely walls Galar, so I'm not even worried about that. Plus check Celesteela. Yeah, I'm excited for this. It should be good. I think he's going to lead either Celesteela or Excadrill to start off. I don't really have a great lead off to that of who to go to check that. He might be Mold Breaker. We'll go Rotom to start off. Sort of checks everything. Okay, so he's neutralizing gas. What are we thinking about? We're going to just Volt Switch, get some damage off. Nice damage. Going to go to Heatran. Just check him, see what he goes for. That's perfectly fine for me. Go for Toxic Spikes. Get another one up. I don't care. I got Togekiss in the back, just waiting to get out. 49%? Okay. What are we looking at? Pain Split again? Well, let's Lava Plume one last time. Okay, Suicune comes in. Pressure. Let's get a burn. Oh man, 30%, no burn. Let's see. Togekiss will switch in just to see what he goes for. Oh man, Substitute. Not what I'm liking. Ice Beam doesn't do too much. Perfectly fine. Now we're going to go Tangrowth maybe. What am I thinking? Yeah, let's go Tangrowth. Goes for the Calm Mind. That's fine. We'll Giga Drain. Just to break the sub. Oh man, that didn't even break the sub. This might be over sooner than expected. Here, we'll switch to Rotom. Get a Volt Switch. Not worried at all. Again, we're going for the Volt Switch. Just to break it. We'll bring Kyurem out. See what he goes for. Another Calm Mind. Fire off a Freeze Dry. Does not do much. It does do just about 26% though. So we'll go for another one. Set up Suicune always hurts. Oh, didn't get the roll. Oh no. That's terrible. Okay, we got to go for another one. Just to break it. What's he probably going to be? Rest. So what we are going to do is I want to switch into Tangrowth. We'll take the Scald. The burn takes us out. Fine. But here we'll go Urshifu. And we should easily be able to... We could blow through. Scald takes us out. Now we need to get Kyurem back in here. And we need to get some freeze dries going. 18. Not too bad, but he does get the burn, which is just really going to hurt on chipping us down. Go for the freeze dry. One more Scald. It's got to be a good roll here. There we go. Ooh. That took so hard just to get rid of one guy. This is not good. We already sacked Tangrowth, which isn't terrible, but not great. And then Urshifu's the real killer. Because all my guys now are special attackers. Celesteela. Switch to Heatran. Goes for Meteor Beam. Good prediction. Here we'll go for the Protect. Just to see what he goes for. Or Lava Plume. Almost gets him with the crit. Autonomize. Okay, let's Protect to see what he goes for. Meteor Beam, that means he's probably Air Slash and Flamethrower or Thunderbolt. Just to see what he goes for Air Slash. So here, what are we thinking? Lava Plume again. Resist. And we take it out. Kyurem, we got to keep Kyurem for Thundurus. Tapu Bulu, Heatran can easily check. So here what we need to do is go Togekiss, because Flamethrower will also be able to easily check it. Good, got the EQ. Roost, because, misses the Rock Blast. That's big. Now we'll try and hit him with the Flamethrower. So got rid of basically the guy I was most worried about, Suicune, but it did take two of our best Mons. So now, what are we thinking about coming in? Sadly, you predicted the switch that wasn't coming. That's okay. 3. Only 3. Flamethrower takes it out. Okay, so what are we looking at? Rotom Wash. Okay, here. What are we trying to get to? I want to get Kyurem in and then fire off an Ice Beam. But Heatran I need to keep healthy. So I think I just go for Heal Bell here. Okay. Whoever he goes to, I'll go to Heatran. And we're going to go Protect to start. And Lava Plume here. I'm fine with Toxic Spikes, mainly because Kyurem already has status and Rotom has Levitate, so it's not going to affect any of my guys. And Heatran doesn't take it because he's Steel type. So here we're going to Protect just to start because he's probably going to go close combat like I predicted. And we'll take the extra recovery. Here we'll go Rotom Wash. Chip him down. Pain Split. Oh man, that was a bad choice. Okay, what are we thinking? Kyurem, Ice Beam, Ice Beam. Should take out Tapu Bulu. He doesn't have any priority in his Life Orb. And even if he switches to Thundurus, this is going to kill him. And then the burn. Oh, with the Grassy Heal keeps me at what it is. And finally, Tapu Bulu. He doesn't get Grassy Glide. Takes him out. GG at the end. Let's go. 2-0 victory right at the end. Oh man, that was close. But it worked out in the end. Here, I'll try and get him on a Zoom call and we'll go from there. Close game. 2-0 victory in the end, but still, overall, not something you exactly want to see. Losing Urshifu so early, trying to get rid of Suicune, which Suicune just as a monster, I mean, 115 defense and special defense with 100 HP, like it can easily start setting up on you and I was not very well prepared for it. Almost all my guys were special attackers besides your Shifu, and so getting those special defense bonuses really required chipping him down. Towards the end, he had his Weezing still throwing some toxic spikes down, even though Heatran wasn't going to take damage because he's steel type. Levitate with Rotom Wash. Kyurem had already been burned at that point. So I'm not quite sure why he went for that as opposed to at least trying to get a little damage with Dazzling Gleam off, but I will gladly take it. Just going through his team, he did have Mold Breaker on his Excadrill and then also Neutralizing Gas on Weezing Galar, which was kind of interesting to see how, two of his Mons were eliminating abilities for the Pokemon they were facing. Thunderous, Heavy Duty Boots, don't want to take any Stealth Rock damage, but even with this 331, which would normally outspeed anybody on my team, luckily Kyurem with that Choice Scarf was able to outspeed it, and then the Cal I ran assured that Ice Beam would take it out. So managed to get in the end, take out Tapu Bulu and Thunderous with that Ice Beam, which was really nice. Celesteela, this is a pretty common Celesteela Power Herb to get Meteor Beam, which is typically a 2-turn attack to just have it happen in one and get the special attack boost, Air Slash and Flamethrower, then Autonomize just to get faster. Sometimes you run it with extra speed if you're trying to be faster than something, but since nobody on my team's super fast, it was just HP to be a little more beefy. All in all, worked out fairly well. I needed to be more prepared for the Suicune setting up. That was a little disappointing for me. It got a little dicey there about halfway through, seeing I couldn't even break into its sub sometimes. And I think the main thing coming out of this was it was amazing to have Kyurem just in the back with Ice Beam being able to hit almost every guy on his team for extremely effective damage. And then Heatran just being a nice little wall, doing some damage with Lava Plumes. Togekiss, Flamethrower was pretty nice. We had a nice dodge of Rock Blast, and then even only getting 3 from Excadrill helped keep Togekiss alive. And then Rotom Wash, just as always, trying to get a little momentum of switching and holding the team together. But really, Kyurem came through strong here. Next week, I'll see who it is. It's either going to be the Hammerlock Hammerheads, who's the one team that we lost to this season, or it's going to be the East Bay Easy Bakes, who we almost blew the game to back in week 6. So it's going to be a tough matchup either way, and I will get back to you guys next week with the next battle.